Hello, everyone. Welcome to a one-to-one with. In this series, I have a one-to-one with BNI members and focus on their business. My name is Mark. I hold the digital marketing seat in BNI Northern Lights in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. My company is called Funky Moose Digital, and we offer our online marketing skills to roofing companies and renovation contractors. Today, I have a one-to-one with Karen Kummen-Diak. She is a member of BNI Impact in Winnipeg, Manitoba in Canada, and she holds the travel agent seat. Now, before we dive into her introduction, please make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, share it with your chapter. So, Karen, can you do your weekly presentation for us?
I sure can. Thanks, Mark. I am a travel advisor and vacation specialist based here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, servicing clients from all over Canada. I help busy moms, dads, business professionals, and entrepreneurs who don't have the time or expertise to plan their own travel. My clients often feel overwhelmed with the endless options and details involved in booking a vacation. And that's where I come in. From the moment my clients reach out with a vacation idea to the time they return home, they have me in their back pocket to help them navigate any situation that may arise. I handle all the details so they can enjoy a stress-free vacation. I ensure every aspect of the trip is perfectly planned and tailored to their needs, allowing them to focus on making memories and having a great time. I am looking for referrals for anyone who could use a well-deserved break, but doesn't really have the time or maybe the know-how to plan it themselves.
Pick me! Pick me! I want to go somewhere warm.
We all do, don't we?
Yeah.
Especially nowadays.
Yeah. Well, thanks for that introduction and taking time to record this with me. So you're a member of BNI Impact in Manitoba. Let's dive into your goals or your gains exchange, and we start with goals. So you say you want to build and grow a successful travel advisory business. So when I say you're a travel agent, is that the same thing?
Is, but I like to use the term advisor because I feel like an agent is more of just a quick sell, if you will. But I'm so much more because I have a concierge service that I work with from the time we sit down and chat about your vacation to the time you come home. I'm there to make sure everything is taken care of, and you won't get that from a lot of agents. So again, that's where the advisory comes in. I also like to find out more about my clients' needs, wants, and often they don't even know where they want to go. They just want to go away. So that's where again where I come in and I match them with what they want, need, and are expecting to all the locations that they could possibly go to and match them up that way.
Interesting. Have you ever had a client that wanted to go to, I don't know, Bali, and then they ended up in someplace in South America because you were able to advise them on something and they're like, oh my God, I never thought of this.
Well, I had something similar. I had a client wanting to go to Thailand, and when we were sat down and talked, what they really, really wanted was just a relaxing vacation. They really wanted beach and sun, so they ended up booking Maldives. So it was right in the same price range in their budget that they wanted, but the Maldives hit all those spots, the fine dining, the glorious beaches, the overwater huts, I guess they call them, that sort of thing. Whereas Thailand was a little bit more adventurous and more than they wanted, I think.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's a big difference between a an active vacation and just a laid back, relaxed, do nothing type of thing. Yeah,
So
Maldives,
true.
that would bucket list item, I think, for me.
My bucket list has grown so much since I've become a travel advisor. It's crazy. Every time
So
someone comes and like, "Oh, I want to go too."
yeah. Well, so a friend of mine back home in Holland is a travel or works for a travel agency, and one of the perks of her job is that she gets to check out some of these hotels in these warm resorts and stuff. Is that one of the perks for you too, or you're not
It
that
could
lucky?
be, but I've been really lucky. I launched this business 2 years ago, and now I came from the hospitality industry, so I did have a lot of contacts and whatnot prior to launching the business. But when I launched it, of course, being with BNI as well, it really exploded. I mean, I had the most best business plan, marketing plan ever, and I never got to execute it just because the business was coming and I had to service it, right?
Right.
So my plan, though, is in 5 years, my husband will be retiring, and I thought I would retire as well, but I don't think so now. I think I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, but it's one of those jobs where I can take my laptop with me, so I could do it from the beach in Mexico or Jamaica or wherever my heart desires, right?
Yeah,
So that's my
yeah.
5 year plan.
And then when you have a call with a client, you can just show them around. Look, this is where I am now. You want me to book this too?
Exactly.
That's awesome. And then I guess your goal is to create that relationship with your clients and become that trusted advisor that the next time they want to go somewhere, you're the one to call.
It is. Travel is an intimate experience, I like to think of, and it's also, well, it's intangible, but it's definitely personal, and you really get to know your clients so well. And I love it when they go on vacation, they send me photos or they come home and they send me a little thank you card with a picture of themselves somewhere, wherever they are. I had clients in Africa not too long ago, and they sent me a video of them with elephants out right outside the room, and it was just, wow, that's amazing.
That's
Like
awesome.
I helped them create that. It's such a
Yeah.
rewarding job.
Yeah. That's great. So let's move to the accomplishments. So you have accomplished quite a few things on this list. Most of them have to do with what you do right now. And you said you came out of the hospitality business. You have you are a certified hospitality sales professional
Correct?
designation from the American Hotel and Lodging Association. Lodging or loading? Lodging.
Lodging. I might
Okay.
have had a typo in there.
Yeah, there's a typo in
Sorry.
there. Okay. And then TPI, that's the organization you're with now, correct?
Yeah, TPI is now called Trevelo. When I started, it was TPI, but they've since got a name change, and they'll actually going to be going public fairly soon on the Toronto Stock Exchange. I think
Okay.
in 2025, January. So it's kind of exciting.
Yeah, very cool. Okay, so you're not an employee of that business, but you're like it's much like financial advisors, for example, right? Am I seeing that right?
Yeah, I'm an independent travel advisor, and Trevelo is my host agency. So they help me with the back office kind of things. Also, I have an extensive list of suppliers that I work with that they have already vetted and use, which also helps us negotiate rates and that sort of thing. And so it seemed like being that I was so new to the travel side of hospitality, it seemed like a good fit to get behind a company that already was established and had all these features that I could just, get to work with right away.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting. And then there's one that seems like a little bit of a curveball. VGCC? What's that?
Valley Gardens Community Center. It's a local community center here in Winnipeg, one that I used to frequent as a youth, and I started volunteering there. I think it was 2018 as their publicity director, and I'm still on the board. I was a president for, I guess it was about 3.5 years because it started over COVID. And then just recently, I stepped down to still on the executive, but in the secretary role, just because my business has been taking off, and the president role was just a little bit too much to handle all at once.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay, because I read this and I was like, so what does this entail? And then I saw ball diamond rebuild. I'm like, so this
Yeah.
is a ball organization? But
It
okay,
was a community center, so we do a lot of organized sports. We had like hardball, softball, basketball, hockey, all the fun stuff. And during COVID, we were looking at some ways that we could, in the downtime, we wanted to improve the facilities and the green space or whatnot. And so we started with the ball diamonds because they had been kind of neglected over the years. The community center was built in '79, and I don't think the ball diamonds have ever been touched. So I spearheaded that project, and I'm happy to say that just last summer we had the official grand opening and it went off very well. The kids love it. It's used often. Yeah, it's so nice to be able to walk through there and just see all that green space and all that space being used by the community. It's fantastic.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's awesome. And that ties into your interests, which is you have a few here, but hiking, camping, walking, running, fitness, that kind of falls all under that, I guess.
Yeah, anything that gets me outdoors and active, then I'm a happy camper for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I also see music. What kind of music are we listening to?
Well, we listen to everything from classical to heavy metal.
Oh, there you go.
But yeah, one of my favorite things to do on the weekend is actually just pull out old vinyls and listen, play pool and listen to music with my husband. We have a great time.
Awesome. Yeah. Actually, I was this morning, I was at a doctor's appointment and my doctor asks, what kind of music do you like? And I was like, yes. She's like, great. So I can put anything on? I was like, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Right?
Um,
I can't play
yeah.
music though. My kids were in music for 12 years. I never picked up a single note.
Same here. My daughter has singing lessons. My son, out of the blue, can, well, I won't say he can play music on a piano, but he looked at Baby Shark, the notes once. I showed him once, and he played it, and that's his
Wow,
go-to now. So
that's so
he's
awesome.
6, so maybe there's a pianist in his future or something. Yeah,
It's so fun to watch them develop their little skills, eh? My
I
kids
know.
are older
Yeah,
now, but I remember
yeah,
when they were small.
Yeah, exactly. And then networks, obviously BNI, VGCC we talked about, and Travello. So I guess we're moving on to your skills. You have a lot of skills, it looks like.
I've been in business since I was 16. I was on my own and got my first job, and I was lucky enough to land a sales job at 18. So with sales, you do need a lot of skills. And so, yeah, I've just been working and developing, and I'm one of those people that continuing education is important to me. So I'm always looking to grow and expand.
Yeah, it's one of the core values.
So true. And a good one, too.
All right. So time management, organization, active listening, you need that for sales for sure. Because if you don't listen, you'll sell the wrong thing. Problem solving, coachable, self-motivated. I'm just picking up the random stuff. It's a for everybody listening or watching, it's a list. When you're talking travel, what are some of the things that you have to answer over and over? What are those little things that people can prepare themselves for before they talk to you?
I guess that when they what I do, my process is to have a free consultation with all of my clients. I want to make sure I'm a good fit for them and they're a good fit for me too, right? It goes two ways. And one of the things I like to do to prepare them for that consultation is to ask them what do they enjoy doing in life? Because that usually translates to what they like to do in their downtime, right? What do you like to do in life? Are you a foodie? Is entertainment, is that important? Like to I like to find I have a list of things I like to ask them to put together for me so then I can help them find the perfect vacation, especially if they don't know where they want to go already. But I will tell you probably the number one thing that I have to repeat often is your passport cannot expire within 6 months of your date of return. And I tell it people all the time, but you'd be surprised how many people are like 2 weeks before their vacation and they call me and they say, "Oh my gosh, my passport's not is going to expire in 2 months." It can be fixed. It's always everything can always be fixed. But it's sort of surprising, like we've talked about this number of times, but that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you have any other, let's call them nuggets for people where it's like, okay, this is something that you should know when you work with us or when we, find that right or find that right vacation for you. What are some of the things that you want people to know maybe ahead of time or during
Well, I have some
during the process?
travel nuggets. I have some travel nuggets I can share.
Yeah, sure.
Like if you're when you're packing and you're going to go on a trip, you always want to make sure you have at least enough clothes for 24 to 48 hours in your carry-on luggage. That way, if something happens, your toiletries and whatnot, they're there. If something happens, your luggage gets misplaced or ends up in the wrong destination, and it happens, at least you're set for the first couple days. And usually airlines can get you your luggage within that time. If not, they have insurance or whatnot, so you can go out and purchase your things. But it just saves on the stress in that way if you already have stuff there. Second one would be timing is everything. Booking early often gets you the best value and lots of options, but last minute travelers have to have flexibility, right? Some deals pop up within 14 days of departure, which is perfect for the spontaneous adventurer. But if you're not that spontaneous and you like to have all your I's dotted and T's crossed, you want to approach someone like me about 6 months in advance. And then I'd say before choosing a destination, you want to think about the experiences you want, as we talked about. Like, is it adventure? Is it relaxation? Is it culture? Is it family fun? That way we can pair the season, the budget, and make sure that the timing and the place that you're going to is aligned perfectly and you have just a dream getaway.
Awesome. And where do you go if I'm putting you on the spot and I'm saying, okay, you need to go in 2 weeks from now, you're hopping on a plane and you need to leave. Where are you going?
I'm going to Japan and I'm taking a cycling tour to take from Tokyo to Kyoto or Kyoto, I guess you would say it.
Oh,
That's where I'm
wow.
going. Yeah. It's a
Japan.
dream
Yes.
trip for me. Yeah.
Japan is one of those places that I want to visit, especially the crosswalk, the famous crosswalk. I forget what it's called.
Mhm.
But it's like my wife, she's a prairie girl and she can handle a city for a day. But after that, it's like, just get me out of here. So the chances of us actually staying in Tokyo are, I would say, zero, basically. Yep.
Yeah,
but
fair enough.
but
But there's
Japan
so
is
much to
also
do and
very,
see, right?
yeah. But Japan in general is pretty crowded, I believe. It doesn't really matter where you go.
Yes, right in the city. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Japan. Yeah, that's I have so many bucket
Where
list
would you
items.
go? if you could go somewhere in 2 weeks?
So that's kind of a trick question because my family is still in Holland. So automatically I would go to Holland because I'd go see family. But if the sidestep is you can't go to Holland, then we'll probably end up in Italy.
Yes.
My wife is learning Italian, and there's something about Italy that draws me. Maybe it's the racing heritage with Ferrari and Lamborghini and stuff like that.
Right.
That's yeah,
The
Italy is
history
probably
is so
one of those.
extensive there.
Yeah, yeah. I remember my dad went to Rome on some business trip at some point, and he took pictures of the Colosseum, and it's like you see it in movies and you see it on pictures and whatever, but if your dad is in front of it and you see it, it's like, man, that thing is real.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
actually just planned a trip for my cousin going to Rome. It's amazing. Again, I'm jealous. I can't. It's on my bucket list.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so your ideal referral, who can I refer to you?
Well, my ideal referral definitely loves to travel. They lack the time to plan it themselves, or sometimes it might be an older generation and they just don't have the know-how or they don't trust the services like the providers. So they like to go to someone like me who has the experience working with them. They value the expertise of what I do, and they seek peace of mind knowing that when they're traveling, that if something does go awire, they have me to help navigate the situation with them. And again, they understand the value of a professional service because it does take time, it takes planning, and it's not something that it's not like you just go online and you go on Expedia and you book a hotel and a flight. When you're working with me, we're creating an experience. It's not just a hotel and a flight. So usually the person is about 30 to 60 years old, but of course I'm open to anybody with the means and desires tailored to vacation experiencing. It could be parents juggling work, maybe juggling work, kids' activities. They want a stress-free getaway. Could be busy professionals or retirees looking to escape or maybe celebrating something special. Or quite often it's entrepreneurs and professionals who just need the downtime and a unique destination just to get that work-life balance back in track. That's generally my ideal referral.
Awesome. Um, we might have to talk at some point. Not anytime soon, because but we'll stay in touch for sure.
No worries. I plan to do this for the rest well into my 80s. I love
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
It's so
Good.
much fun.
Good. Well, Karen, thank you very much for taking the time out of your day to talk to me and have me ask you questions. And best of luck in your career as a travel advisor.
Well, thank you so much for having me on today. I appreciate the time.